Hello and good evening, everyone. This is Amy of AJC Magic TV. Happy Wednesday to everyone in the chat. And I do welcome you all in this afternoon or this early evening. So, welcome in, everyone. I will say hello to Francisco. Welcome in, Francisco, Stevie Lee, Car Key, Carol, Catherine Wilby, Brian K, Movie Mania Nick, and Stevie Lee. So, welcome in, everyone. First, I'm going to start off with I was curious about this. Hello, it's Joey's World. Lisa, welcome in. I'm going to start off opening up one of these miniature mini brands Disney balls here. I was curious about them and I've seen people with them, and I thought, let's open it up on stream, see what we got. I got two of them. So we'll go ahead and do that while everyone comes in. Welcome in, Sebastian the Crab. And then we'll get started with the decades of trivia. I'm going to go ahead and open this up and just see what I got. I don't think it'll be something I'll collect. So I'll probably let people know if you are collecting them. You can probably, and you're looking for a certain item, I would probably be happy to give it away because but I gotta check with my nephew and niece to make sure they're not collecting them or want them before I start giving them away. But I'm gonna open it up, see what we got. I think it's kind of cute. They do have carrying cases too. I found these at Target. And they had carrying cases and that. It's kind of like an orange shaped thing, and then you, I guess, pull it open to each little piece of the puzzle. Welcome in, Jill. Thank you for joining. Yeah, it's kind of like an orange where you kind of peel it, and then they have various Disney pieces. Well, this is like a shelving system that you can put your pieces on. So I'm gonna just close that back up for that. So I'm guessing you get 4 pieces and a shelf in them, even though it says it's 5 pieces. But the first one is the Little Mermaid toy. So I got Ariel and the little mini brand Ariel doll. So these are kind of cute. Welcome in, T. Marie's place. Okay, no problem. Thank you for joining. No problem, Monarch Romance. Thank you for coming in. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. If you're enjoying the show, if you're new, consider subscribing. It does help out our channel, and we appreciate it. Yesterday, if you want to watch the replay, if you're into flower and gardens in Pittsburgh, they have a Phipps Conservatory, and they do various flower shows throughout the year, depending on the season, and they opened up their spring flower show. But this is the first toy, is Ariel. I'll just do 2 of these, or the one orange, and then I will get started with the there is a Belle doll from Beauty and the Beast. So far I got Ariel and Belle. So that's kind of cute. I noticed they also have like ones of old toys, like miniature toys and everything like that. Here is, I think this is Christopher Flynn. Flynn Rider, I think this is, or Christoph. Yeah, they are kind of cute. I was surprised on that. I'd like to try to look at the Mattel toy ones, but like I said, I don't really want to get into collecting everything. Welcome in, Annie Koo. Sorry, no, we'll get into the trivia here real shortly. I'm just finishing up opening up one of these Disney mini brands eggs or like orange thing. It's like orange pieces, and you peel back and you find various toys in here. And I believe I opened them up all. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oop, I missed one. Here it is. I missed the last one. So you get 4 toys and a shelf system. And then you can collect them. And then I guess they have various other things. And then this is a Grogu snack drink. A Grogu snack drink. So I got Ariel, Grogu snack drink, and a shelving system. But that's all the toys there. It looks like they give you like a list that you can check off of all the mini brands, of the Disney mini brands. And they have various items: Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney. And I know in the carrying case that you can get to put them in has the various stuff. Welcome in, Dennis. I'll be right with you guys. I'll just open up the one egg since everybody's in here, and we'll get started. So let's get started. Francisco, you were the first person to come in, so you get to start and pick the decade that you like to start with. And I will tell you which decades that you can choose. But you can pick the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or 2010s. So if you're still in here, Francisco, you were the first person in chat. You get to start off the trivia by picking which decade you would like a question to start off with. You can pick the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. And the first person to answer, they get to pick the next category. So just remember that. If you're still in here, Francisco, you can pick the category. I'm not sure if he's still here. It doesn't look like he is. So let's see who the second person was in chat. And that's Stevie Lee. Are you still in here, Stevie Lee? You can pick the decade that you like to start the trivia with. Either the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or 2010s. Yeah, I'm sure he probably would have wanted the 80s, Lisa. But Stevie Lee picked 2010s. The 2010s. We'll probably get a bunch of 80s, so don't worry here. Here we go. With the 2010s. Here we go. In a running gag, Jimmy Kimmel often apologizes to this actor for bumping him from his show because we ran out of time. In a running gag, Jimmy Kimmel often apologizes to this actor for bumping him from his show because we ran out of time. And I'll take the first 2 answers for now. And it's Movie Mania Nick and Catherine Wilby with Matt Damon. Matt Damon. So Movie Mania Nick and Catherine Wilby. Well, I'll do the first 3 because you have first, second, and third place. So Catherine will be Movie Mania Nick, and it's Joey's World with Matt Damon. And Movie Mania Nick, you get to pick the next category, which I think I know what you're going to pick, but it was Matt Damon was the answer. So Movie Mania Nick, you get to pick the next category. And he's picking the 80s. So there you go. It's Joey's World. You got the 80s. Okay, here we go. What stir-crazy comedian severely burned himself in a drug-related incident in 1980? Welcome in, R. Johns. Thank you for joining. Hope you're having a good day, you and Donna. So welcome in. What stir-crazy comedian severely burned himself in a drug-related incident in 1980? Welcome in, Mike Bush. So we have the answer. It is It's Joey's World with Richard Pryor, Mike Bush with Richard Pryor, and Brian Kay. So It's Joey's World, Mike Bush, and Brian Kay. Oops, I need to put this. Okay, we're sticking with the 80s. Oh, she's going to pick the 90s. I will pick 90s because I have to take a call. Okay, thank you. Here we go, the 90s. In 1995, who used a truck filled with fertilizer to blow up a federal building in Oklahoma City? In 1995, who used a truck filled with fertilizer to blow up a federal building in Oklahoma City? Doesn't hurt to guess, Stevie Lee. Yeah, I'll be getting back to some Disney trivia, but I have been doing that at my lunchtime, but I will get back to it in the evening also. Tim something. He owned a camp right near my house, but can't think. So far, Jill Walkbritt gets it with Timothy McVeigh. So, Jill, welcome in, Dean of the Live Place. Thank you for dropping in. And Mike Bush. And Movie Mania Nick. So it was Timothy McVeigh. So Jill Rockbridge, Mike Bush, and Movie Mania Nick. Got it with Timothy McVeigh. Okay, Jill, you get to pick the category. Okay, we're going to stick with the 90s. The 1990s. Here we go with the 90s. This 90s TV drama featured Dr. Joel Fleshman and the other quirky residents of Sicily, Alaska. This 90s TV drama featured Dr. Joel Fleshman and the other quirky residents of Sicily, Alaska. Not house, but that's a good guess. And the answer is Northern Exposure. Northern Exposure. And Catherine Wilby, Jill, and Mike Bush got Northern Exposure. So good job, everyone. Okay, Catherine Wilby, you get to pick the next category. Yeah, don't forget to check out Dean of the Live Place. Check out his website, theliveplace.com. Also, he does go live various times. So check out Dean of the Live Place, theliveplace.com. And sometimes he is Dreamer's Empire. Okay, we're sticking with the 90s. And I do welcome you all in. I know Jeff just went live at Disneyland, so I'm sure everyone will want to check out that also. So if you leave, just make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That way you can help out our channel. Oh, you're welcome, Dean. Thank you for joining. Okay, here we go with the 90s. Since 1997, this South Park character keeps getting killed over and over again. Yeah, I was wondering that too, but he probably is excited to show everyone Disneyland. Since 1997, this South Park character keeps getting killed over and over again. And we have Jill, R. Johns, and Brian K. with Kenny. So Jill, Brian K., and R. Johns with Kenny. Good job. Everybody got in there pretty quick with that. Okay. Welcome in, Mike Bikeman. Thank you for joining. And Jill, you get to pick the next category, sticking with the 90s. Okay, here we go. Here we go. On Seinfeld, who does Newman work for? On Seinfeld, who does Newman work for? On Seinfeld, who does Newman work for? And we got the answer. It is the post office. The post office. And the first three people are Brian K., Mike Bikeman, and R. Johns with the United States Post Office. So R. Johns, Mike B., and Brian K. So Brian K., you were the first one. You can pick either the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or 2010s on the category. Since you got it first. So the 80s, 90s. Okay, sticking with the 90s. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What's the first name of Seinfeld's zany neighbor, Kramer? What is the first name of Seinfeld's zany neighbor, Kramer? And we have the answer. It is Cosmo. Cosmo Kramer. And it's Joey's World. Brian K. and Karki. Okay, see you later, Arjons. Thank you for joining. Okay, we're going to go back to the 80s. Lisa is back. Or Joey's back. Have a good evening, Arjons. Back to the 80s. Here we go. In 1984, Geraldine Ferraro became the first woman to be nominated for what national office? In 1984, Geraldine Ferraro became the first woman to be nominated for what national office? By 90s. And we have the answer. It's Joey's World. Brian K. and Catherine Wilby got it with the vice president. And Dean actually came in with a good answer, a long answer there. But so it's Joey's World. Brian K. and Catherine Wilby. And I will give Dean a point for the long answer, for the more informative answer, but it is vice president. Good job, everyone. And we're sticking with the 80s. Okay, here we go. What sitcom ended in 1983 with the largest ever TV audience in history to date, tuning in for its finale? What sitcom ended in 1983 with the largest ever TV audience in history to date, tuning in for its finale? And we have Dean, Brian K., and Movie Mania Nick with MASH. So Dean of the Lie Place, Brian K., and Movie Mania Nick. Good job and fast fingers. It was MASH. Okay, Dean, you get to pick the next category. I don't think MASH was a sitcom. Yeah, probably not the sitcom that you think it would be. More of a television drama type of thing. But Dean of the Lie Place, you can pick the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or 2010s. Okay, he liked the 80s. We did that one. We did that one. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I would think it was more of a television drama, comedy, or comedy drama type of thing. Okay, here we go. Dan Rather was the anchorman for this nightly news program through most of the 80s. Dan Rather was the anchorman for this nightly news program through most of the 80s. Ah, that's an interesting fact there. The episode aired the day after my brother was born. Oh, wow, cool. That's a cool thing. Okay, it's Joey's World. Mike Bikeman and yeah, it's Joey's World and Mike Bikeman got it with the CBS Evening News. The CBS Evening News. What did And it's Joey's World. Actually, tonight there's no 70s. There's 80s, 90s, 2000s, or 2010s. Tonight there's no 70s. So 80s, 90s, 2010s, or 2000. Ah, okay, the 90s. I grab a different card for that one. Here we go, the 90s. This 90s teen drama series starred Claire Danes, Jared Leto, and Wilson Cruz. This 90s teen drama series starred Claire Danes, Jared Leto, and Wilson Cruz. Well, I know 2 people are happy. Okay, so it was My So-Called Life, and Brian K., Annie Koo, and Jill got it. So Brian K., Annie Koo, and Jill. Welcome in, Penguin Master. Thank you for joining. Okay, Brian, what category do you want? That's a funny one, Carol. Okay, Brian K., what category? Sticking with the 90s. Here we go. This president often talked about 1,000 points of light and formed a foundation of the same name. This president often talked about 1,000 points of light and formed a foundation of the same name. Okay, so it's Joey's World, Car Key, and Jill got it. George Bush. Jill actually got the right George Bush, George H.W. Bush. But I will give It's Joey's World, Jill, and Car Key. And what category are you going to stick with here? Okay, going to the 80s. Here we go. What is Rambo's first name? What is Rambo's first name? And we have our answer. It is John. John. So it's Joey's World, Brian K., Mike Bush. It's Joey's World, Mike Bush, and Brian K. Woohoo! Okay. A 2000 question. It's Joey's World's mixing it up tonight. Okay, here we go. A 2000 question. What insurance company has a spokes gecko? What insurance company has a spokes gecko? And it's Joey's World. Annie Koo and Mike Bikeman got it first with Geico Insurance. So it's Joey's World, Annie Koo, and Mike Bikeman. Good job, everyone. Yes, I do have 2010s. So here we go. 2010s. Let's see if anybody knows this one. Because I know I don't think I would get it. But here we go. This frontman for 9 Inch Nails also won an Oscar for Best Original Score for The Social Network. This frontman for 9 Inch Nails also won an Oscar for Best Original Score for The Social Network. And the answer is Trent Reznor. And it's Joey's World, Jill, and Mike Bush. So it's Joey's World, Jill, and Mike Bush. That card is complete. Okay, next category. Okay, I see now. So Jill, Mike Bush. So Jill, you get to pick the next category. So Jill and Mike Bush. And Jill, you get to pick the next category. Yeah, I see you did Trent Razor. Okay, Jill wants the 90s. We got that one. And we did that one. And that one. So I got to pick a different card. Yep. Pick a different card. Okay, here we go. This U.S. President's Library and Museum is located in Little Rock, Arkansas. Welcome in, Kathy Hollister. Thank you for joining. This U.S. President's Library and Museum is located in Little Rock, Arkansas. And it's Joey's World, Brian K. and Jill with Bill Clinton. So it's Joey's World, Brian K., Jill, and I will give Mike Bush a point for spelling it out. And welcome in, Kathy. Thank you for joining. Okay, it's Joey's World. It's Joey's World was brushing up on their second place finish there last week. But they fought to the end. Okay, it's Joey's World. You want the 80s? Oh, the 90s. Okay. Here we go. Name the 1993 film where Robin Williams and Nathan Lane operate a South Beach drag club. Name the 1993 film where Robin Williams and Nathan Lane operate a South Beach drag club. And the answer is The Birdcage. It's Joey's World. Kathy and Mike Bikeman get it with The Birdcage. So it's Joey's World. Kathy and Mike Bikeman. He came in right after Mike did. He was in here, but he just missed out with Mike. Mike B. Okay, keep with the 90s. Here we go. Matchbox 20 frontman Rob Thomas wrote and sang Smooth, which was a mega hit for this group in 1999. Matchbox 20 frontman Rob Thomas wrote and sang Smooth, which was a mega hit for this group in 1999. And Mike Bikeman, it's Joey's World and Sunshine and Disney Time with Santana. Welcome in, Sunshine and Disney Time. And welcome to the board. So, Mike Bikeman, it's Joey's World and Sunshine in Disney Time with Santana. Great job, everyone. Carlos Santana. Okay, Mike Bikeman, you get to pick the category 80s, 90s, 2000s, or 2010s. Mike Bikeman. Okay, he's going to do the 80s. The 80s. Here we go with the 80s. These sitcom characters often remedied their problems with cheesecake. These sitcom characters often remedied their problems with cheesecake. And we got the answer. It was the Golden Girls. And Mike Bikeman, Kathy, and Mike Bush got it with the Golden Girls. Really? You didn't know that in Joey's World? That's surprising. So Kathy, Mike, and Mike. But I wish I had some cheesecake. Yeah, I agree there. Okay, Mike, what would you like to get? What category? Stick with the 80s or go on to another category? If my fingers work properly, I would get more points. Yeah, they kind of come quick when people get in there. Okay, here we go. Not that one. Okay, here we go. Who has turned the letters on Wheel of Fortune since 1982? Who has turned the letters on Wheel of Fortune since 1982? And the answer is Vanna White, It's Joey's World, Mike Bikeman, and Mike Bush. Got it first with Vanna White. Welcome in, Nicole. Thank you for joining. I'm still waiting to win that ceramic Dalmatian umbrella holder. Yeah, that's funny. Now, all the time there's always an umbrella holder, or hey, you can have that magazine rack for the $50. Okay, it's Joey's World, sticking with the 80s. Okay, we did those. We did these two. Here we go. What was the family name of sisters Barbara, Louise, and Earlene, who had a variety TV show in the early 80s? What was the family name of sisters Barbara, Louise, and Earlene, who had a variety TV show in the early 80s? Let's see if anybody else comes up with the answer. Tell you. Okay, so Mike Bikeman, Kathy, and Mike Bush got it with the Mandels or the Mandrells. Mandrell. So actually, Kathy and Mike Bikeman got it correct with the Mandrells. The Mandrells. So Kathy and Mike Bikeman. Mando, like with Grogu. Okay. Kathy, you get to pick the category. The 90s. Okay, here we go. 1990s. The Kardashians' father, Robert, is a defense attorney who was arguably his most notorious client. The Kardashians' father, Robert, is a defense attorney who was arguably his most notorious client. And Mike Bush, Jill Walkbrick, and It's Joey's World gets it with O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson and Jill. So Mike Bush, Jill, and It's Joey's World with O.J. Simpson. And Mike Bush is sticking with the 90s. Okay, here we go. Samuel Powers was the geeky kid on Saved by the Bell, By what nickname was he better known as? Ah, okay. That's understandable there. Yeah, I didn't know it was the Kardashians' dad. I knew other people that were in it. And Mike Bikeman, Annie Koo, and Brian Kay with Screech. So Mike Bikeman, Annie Koo, and Brian Kay with Screech. Good job. Okay, Mike, you get to pick the category. Mike Bikeman. Okay, he's going to the 80s. Here we go. What hot tempered Indiana University coach threw a chair onto the court during a game against Purdue in 1985? What hot tempered Indiana University coach threw a chair onto the court during a game against Purdue in 1985? Mike Bush, Brian Kay, and Mike Bikeman get it with Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight. So Mike Bush, Brian Kay, and Mike Bikeman. Bobby Knight. Yep. I remember that. Good night, Movie Mania Nick. See you later. Have a good night, Nick. Okay. So, Mike Bush, you can pick the next category. This will be the last category that we pick, and then I'm going to choose the next couple categories. I kind of mix it up a little bit. But Mike Bush, you can pick the next categories. Okay. You would like the 80s. Okay. Here we go with the 80s. Lost in Love, All Out of Love, and The One That You Love are all lovely hits of what Australian soft rock duo? Yeah, we will do movies. In fact, I almost was going to pick that one again. But Lost in Love, All Out of Love, The One That You Love are all lovely hits of what Australian soft rock duo? And it's Joey's World, Mike Bikeman, and Mike Bush with Air Supply. Air Supply. So it's Joey's World, Mike Bush, and Mike Bikeman. Good job. I remember that was always the couple skate song. I'm all out of love and roller skating in years ago. Okay, it's Joey's World. One more time, I'm picking a category, and then I'm going to mix it up to give some other categories. Okay, gonna do. I think I have the most fourth and fifth places. Yeah. Okay, it's Joey's World's mixing it up with the 2000s. Here we go. In 2006, The Departed portrayed organized crime in Boston and was this director's third gangster film. Yes, anyone that beats Jeff is a winner. Yes. 2006, The Departed portrayed organized crime in Boston and was this director's third gangster film. Who was the director? And he's one of the top, probably 5 out of all the directors in that time period. And Car Key gets in with a point with Martin Scorsese. So Karki, It's Joey's World, and Mike Bikeman. And since Karki, this is your first time, you get to pick the next category. Welcome in, Cherie Surfer Girl. Welcome in. So since you got this the first time, you can pick the next category, Karki. Yes, you beat Jeff and you beat Garrett. Okay, she's going to do the 80s. The 80s. Okay, 1980s. Chrissy Hind and this group had a hit in 82 with Back on the Chain Gang. Chrissy Hind and this group had a hit in 82 with Back on the Chain Gang. And we have our answer, The Pretenders. And It's Joey's World, Karki and Mike Bikeman get it with The Pretenders. So It's Joey's World, Karki and Mike Bikeman with The Pretenders. Okay, go ahead, It's Joey's World. Fourth again. '80s, why not? Okay. Gonna have to mix up the cards here. Okay, we'll do 4 more questions. So this is the first of 4 questions, and then we will end the evening. Have to move the footballs out. Okay, here we go. This Iron Lady was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom all throughout the 80s. Cat just jumped on my desk, not helping. This Iron Lady was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom all throughout the 80s. And Jill, Karki, It's Joey's World, and Mike Bikeman got Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher. So Jill, Karki, Mike Bikeman, and It's Joey's World with Margaret Thatcher. Good job. Okay, Jill, you can pick the next category. Okay, she's picking the 90s. The 90s. Here we go. In this 1998 film, Jim Carrey doesn't realize that his whole life is being broadcast for the whole world to watch. In this 1998 film, Jim Carrey doesn't realize that his whole life is being broadcast for the whole world to watch. And It's Joey's World, Kathy Hollister, and Karki with The Truman Show. The Truman Show. And Karki. Good job. 80s or a different category, It's Joey's World. 90s. Okay. Here we go. 1990s. And we have two this question and one more question to go. Here we go. The song I'll Be There for You by the Rembrandts was the theme song for this hit 90s TV show. Is there a drug I can take to speed up my fingers? Nah. Probably faster internet. The song I'll Be There for You by the Rembrandts was the theme song for this hit 90s TV show. And let's see, Mike Bikeman, Brian K., and Annie Koo with Friends. With Friends. So Mike, Brian, and Annie Koo with Friends. Okay, Mike Bikeman, you get to pick the last category of the evening. So make it a good one, Mike. You get to pick the final category, Mike. The 90s. Okay, here we go. The 1990s. A version of this Muppet that liked to be tickled was the must-have Christmas present in 1996. A version of this Muppet that liked to be tickled was the must-have Christmas present in 1996. And it's Joey's World, Car Key, and Catherine Wilby with Elmo. With Elmo. So it's Joey's World, Car Key, and Catherine Wilby with Tickle Me Elmo. Yes, I remember how hot that was because I actually worked in a mall where the toy store got it, and I was usually the one that would go get it for different people because I would see it that wanted that Tickle Me Elmo. Okay, of course, here we go for the big winner this evening. But don't forget to check out Jeff. I know he's live right now in Disneyland. Pete McDevitt goes live. Also, the Disney Nerd Herders at 7 p.m. At 8 p.m., go check out Joy S. and Justin and friends. They're going to be talking about their weekend at Mohegan. And also, the D&G Explorers are at 8 p.m. At 9 p.m., where the This and That crew, I don't think Monarch Moments is going live, but you never know. So keep that notification bell for all of them. Thank you. And our big winner tonight is It's Joey's World with first place with 20 points. Our second place winner is Mike Bikeman with 15 points. And our third place winner is Mike Bush with 13 points. And then everyone else, Kathy Hollister with 4 points, Sunshine and Disney Time 1 point, Movie Mania and Nick 4 points, Catherine Wilby 5 points, Brian K 8 points, Jill 9 points, Brian K 5 points, R. Johns had 2 points, Karki 3 points. Actually, Karki, you actually had 7 points, Karki, because I had you down twice. Annie Koo, 5 points, and Dean of the Live Place, 3 points. So congratulations, it's Joey's World, Mike Bikeman, and Mike Bush for the top 3 winners this evening. So have a great night, everyone. I do thank you for joining in. Check out all of our other videos. If you're into flowers, I went to the Flower and Garden Show at the Phipps Conservatory here in Pittsburgh yesterday. Watched the replay. We kind of look around. I'll probably go back again when some of the weather gets a little bit nicer to see how much came in more into bloom. So have a great night and go check out all the other streams and check out deanoftheliveplace.com. Yes, you're all winners. You all beat Jeff tonight. So Have a great night, everyone, and let the adventures begin. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining. Yes, tell them it's a AJC invasion if you go see Jeff. So have a great night, everyone, and thank you for joining. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It's much appreciated. Bye, everyone. Good night.